On a great vacation rental. And it has a kitchen in case you want to cook.
Oh, see, I had been looking at hotels because I thought we can then get room service, or weird knocks at weird times of the day.
Okay, well, what about a bed and breakfast?
Perfect.
Yeah.
Best of both worlds, yes. Hopefully, we can find one close to a spa so then we can get massages.
That'll be great after all the hiking.
Mm-hmm. Or before.
Either or.
Right.
Oh, I also have the perfect route. If we leave by 4 a.m., we'll get to the Outer Banks by noon.
Wait, were there no more direct flights? We should have did that first because those go.
I meant for the drive.
Oh. Why would we drive when we could fly?
Well, flying's expensive.
Yes, but it's quicker. Which leaves you more time to relax, which is the point of vacation.
Yeah, it's a really scenic drive though. Some people say it's better than the Outer Banks itself. I-95, it's great. It'll save us a ton.
I don't really want to drive.
I'm not really trying to fly.
All right, somebodies, I'm sure in part of the relationship, or more so marriage, you've reached this point where you're going to have a trip. You want to plan a vacation. So, what is the key thing here? Is both of you on the same page. What do we have with this couple? We have Quinta's character. She wants to fly. Now, Tyler's character, he wants to drive. Okay, we're not on point already. And we saw at the beginning that we're already talking about the place to stay. A hotel for room service or one that has kitchen. They finally compromise on bed and breakfast, which is fine. Best of both worlds. But getting there. So there was 2 points being made. Okay, flying, quicker, more expensive. Driving, longer, but sometimes you can enjoy the scenery depending on if there is scenery going over there. It's all preference here, all right? I'm sure any of you, maybe even Jay and his beloved wife, may have had talks about this and that, or maybe they didn't agree on something. We'll find out. But that is something that you have to work out at the end, okay? Is having everything taken care of, and that both of you are all right with it. Because as it turns out on this episode, they were sticklers. This is the point that they were not going to budge on, and they just not only didn't end up going on the trip, they ended up taking a break for a moment over this, all right? So you can put in the comment section if that's silly or not. But a trip, a vacation is supposed to be a happy time, except for the planning. The only other time I'm sure people get stressed out about this is planning the wedding. So, but just realize, I don't want to say you have to compromise one way or the other because, again, one doesn't want to drive, one doesn't want to fly. You can't avoid that. So I don't know what you do. You may want to change the destination, so in case you do have to drive, not as long of a drive, or it's not as expensive of a flight, both of you have to figure that out. You have to talk, you have to communicate. Otherwise, you may not end up going. And tell me that's not going to breed resentment right then and there, all right? So this is, you would never think trying to plan a vacation could lead you in a bad way, but be mindful of it, okay? Because it can happen, especially if both of you are at such huge odds. You just try to work it out, and hopefully you end up going on your vacation, you have fun, but if you don't let it break you either, okay? Maybe you just don't take the trip together this time. Just figure it out. Let us know in the comment section if this has ever happened to you. And what was the end result? Did you figure it out? Or did something bad happen? And by the way, Quinta Brunson, single, very cute. Me, I'm back on the market. So Quinta, maybe you see this. Maybe you want to holler at me. That wink is for you.
There's different ways I'm looking at this, right? So if he doesn't want to fly because he's cheap, completely understand that. They could either have done one of two things. Either she could have flown, meet him there, he could have drove, met her there when she flew in. One of the two, I think that would be a good compromise. Or if you're going to get past this point and have another vacation down the line, you guys can fly this time or drive and do vice versa for the next trip. Simple compromise to me, but I do understand how the arguments can happen, because just recently my wife and I, we were trying to plan something as a family vacation for us and the kids, and one thing we were going to do kind of fell through just because it just wasn't going to work with their schedules and stuff of that nature. So we gave like 3 options that we can do. The one we decided on, I'm like, that's expensive. And I was like, sure. She was like, yeah. I was like, And usually we plan a lot of stuff way in advance. This one, just because a lot of variable stuff, we talked about it in the past. wasn't sure if we are going to do it this year or down the line. So we ended up doing it this year. So be a good experience for the kids. So stuff of that nature, right? So I don't think this is as a big a deal, just because this could be like an easy compromise. If he's just cheap and don't want to pay, that's one thing. Because if you take earlier flights, red-eye flights, the prices can be a little cheaper, but depending on where you're going, it's not that expensive. But also they are teachers, so I can see that as a thing too, because they don't get paid as well. So I can see both sides, but I think there's an easy compromise somewhere in the middle if you really want to work on it and get it resolved. But that's just me.